Okay, welcome back to a second installment of this story, the Knights Templars adventure with Scrooge McDuck. We jump right into the prologue. Prologue. Oh, sorry, I have to see the screen. There we go. In the year 1118, 9 French noblemen formed a monarchistic military society to protect travelers to the Holy Lands during the Crusader Wars. Since their base in Jerusalem was in the ancient ruins of the Temple of King Solomon, they became known as the Poor Knights of the Temple of Solomon, the Knights Templar. They grew to become an independent army of 20,000 knights, had the world's largest navy, and became as wealthy and powerful as entire medieval nations. Templars were the greatest warriors, the best sailors, the cleverest builders, and the most learned scholars and alchemists of their day, not to mention the first bankers. Pilgrims who deposit money at the Templar castle were given a chit with a secret cipher. They could then use this chit to withdraw money from any other Templar bank in the world, the first credit card. However, after 200 years of unparalleled Templar success, King Philip XV of France, deeply in debt, decided to seize the Templars' treasury at their headquarters in Paris on October 13th, 1307. But Templar spies had learned of the plot, and the treasury had already been smuggled out of France aboard 18 ships bound for Scotland, where it eventually disappeared. 185 years later, for unknown reasons, the Templars sent their greatest treasure, the crown of the kings of Jerusalem, across the ocean in the care of a Templar named Christopher Columbus. When Columbus' flagship sank, the crown was buried on the island of Hispaniolan Haiti. And there it was hidden for 500 years, until enter the world's greatest treasure hunter, Scrooge McDuck, in an exciting adventure told elsewhere. Just before, Scrooge and his nephew found this long-lost Templar relic. But the director of International Money Council, the modern Templars, tried to claim ownership of the crown. However, it turned out the people of Haiti were the legal owners of the crown, so it was taken to a Haitian museum. Crown of the Kings of Jerusalem. And Uncle Scrooge was only allowed to keep the rotting case and the cloth in which the crown was buried, since he had expressed an odd interest in these worthless items. So the crown and the Crusader Kings became a tourist attraction in Haiti, but not for long. Crusader crowns stolen in miraculous theft. Museum's window bars are turned into gold and easily bent. Great curator says, "Please return our crown, but nice job on the Bazi. Thanks." And at the headquarters of the International Money Council in Paris, "Monsieur Director, you really should not have stolen the crown. It's Haitian property." "Bah, it's the manifest destiny of the Knights Templar to regain our lost treasure, and this crown is the key. Besides, it was nice to finally put the Philosopher's Stone to use in turning those bars into soft gold. Too bad we can't use the stone to create more gold. It would ruin the world's gold market, and even our society's wealth depends on them." "Oui. Monsieur, have you found the clue on the crown hoods?" "Certainly, Maurice. See the series of 2 character symbols around the inside of the rim? That's our ancient Templar secret banking cipher. Exactly. I have translated the code into a sequence of double letters. It must be a combination needed to open the Templar treasure vault. But where is that treasure vault? I don't know. Its location has been lost half a millennium. But something has been bothering me about my run-in with McDuck. He gave up the crown so easily, almost as if he has more interest in the rotten case it was buried in. And the old rag that's it. The cloth what's bothering me. It was a Scottish tartan, and we know the treasury was last seen on Scotland. I'll get the tartan registry book. It was green and orange with particularly stripes. The registry is indexed by color and pattern. Here it is. Great leaping Grandmaster Maurice. It's the McDuck tartan. One of his ancestors must have been a Templar treasurer who hid the treasury, and he never knew. Amazing. We must research the clan McDuck, find out where its ancestral home is located. It is listed here in the registry. In Scotland Highlands, in Dismal Downs, Castle McDuck. A letter from home, or the old castle's other secret. Yes, lads, Castle McDuck, the ancestral home of my family for 1,000 years. It's been too long since my last visit here. Who has been the caretaker since then, Uncle Scrooge? I had trouble finding anyone at first. Everyone was probably repulsed by the fearsome tales of the ghost who haunts the castle. More likely they were repulsed by the fearsome tales of the cheapskate who pays the wages. Nobody asks your opinion ever. Just strive. Anyway, my agent in the village finally found a caretaker who would work for the cheapskate who would take the job. Never mind, stop the jeep. I have a visit to make before we get to the castle. A visit, Uncle Scrooge? Out here on the moor? Where? There. I'll go back for the jeep and drive it down while Uncle Scrooge visits its mama and papa. You kids go find the caretaker and tell that we have arrived. Okay, Uncle Donald. Why does Uncle Donald think the caretaker is a woman? It will be fun to see Castle McDuck again, and to search for another treasure just like before. Only a much bigger treasure this time. Although we're really only looking for clues. The Templar treasury itself might be in Timbuktu for all we know, and looted away to nothing centuries ago. We are in luck. The front gate is open. Look, the caretaker is a woman. May we come in? Oh, hello. You almost certainly may. I'm always glad to take a break from my chores and serve tea to sconers and hikers. Dismal Downs can be a bit lonely at times. You lads come right this way. Thank you, ma'am, but we are not hikers. We drove here with the owner of Dismal Downs, our Uncle Scrooge McDuck. Huh? Scrooge? Here? Now? You boys make yourselves at home. I'll be back after Scrooge leaves. Hortensia and I swear we'd never speak to him again. Oops, sorry. Donald! You're not so big that I can't still give you a good paddling, Donald. Why didn't you write me and warn me that Scrooge was coming? Easy now. Oh, sorry. Let me zoom in a bit. It's been over 20 years since you last saw Uncle Scrooge. I think it's time you two make up. It's been nearly 25 years, and I'll plan to extend the record. Out of my way. Uncle Scrooge, who... Sorry, kids. let me introduce you to my aunt, our great aunt Matilda McDuck. Matilda McDuck? Uncle Scrooge's sister? Wow, Uncle Scrooge has told us stories of the old days when you and Uncle Donald's ma left Scotland and moved to Duckburg. But I bet he never told you about that we left Duckburg because we got fed up with his greed. I've been trying to convince Aunt Matilda that Uncle Scrooge has mellowed in the age a bit, but she made me promise not to tell anyone she lives here. You should have told me that he was coming, and now I'm trapped. But you pay for it, just like you pay for all the other times you were a nasty little boy. Nasty little boy, me. Aunt Matilda's such a kid. Matilda, stop. Get now round. Nice flowers, yes. Meanwhile, Mama, Papa, did you approve of my mission in life? Were you proud that I traveled the globe seeking my fortune? Did you understand my passion for adventure, finding success on the frontiers of the world? Or did the thrill I got from matching wits with the sharpiest and the sharpies and winning? Or did you think I was in it for the money? What did you think? I never know. I've always on the move, so you couldn't send me a letter from home. Monsieur Moulet, do you think we might have found something about the treasure? Of course not. Look at the misery on his face. He was obviously searching for a clue in this cemetery, and failed. We, Templars of old, often hid secrets on the tombstones. Is there a Templar stone here? If a McDuck was a Templar, there must be. Ah, Maurice, voilà. Oui, monsieur, le pays dirt. Ah, what we have here. Interesting. Most interesting. Now you go stand in the corner until I say you can. Hello there. Never mind him, Uncle Matilda. There's Uncle Scrooge. I'm anxious to meet the caretaker who was wise enough to accept this lucrative position of... Matilda? I'm amazed you can recognize one of your relatives, Scrooge. After all, you spent so little time at home once you became obsessed with making money. Donald, did you know she was here? I'm staying out of this, or I'll get sent to bed without supper. I suppose the only reason you have come here now was something to do with making even more money. No, we wanted they were. I bet you finally come for the treasury of the Knights Templar. That's just what Papa didn't want. Uncle Scrooge, say something. You stunned him with those words, Aunt Matilda. He is lucky I didn't stun him with a brick. Frankie, you stunned me, too. How did you know about the Templar treasury? We McDucks have known about it over 50 years. All of us, except Scrooge, that is. Well, you are here now, so I guess I'll have to make the best of it. Bring me your bags and my stiff brother inside, and I'll tell you about it. Don't start without me. I'll have to move the jeep in and close the gate. Bah, we can't spy on them from outside the walls. We should really not spy on them at all, monsieur. Come, let us leave. No, Maurice, not while I have this door opener. What's it like living in a huge crumbling castle, Aunt Matilda? I don't think about it much. We moved here from the city when I was still a girl, so I grew up here. But isn't it lonely? No lonelier than it was always with Scrooge never home with his family. Okay, but Aunt Matilda, how do you know about the Templar treasury? After we lost Mama, Papa started expressing a keen interest in the history of Templars. We figured he just needed something to fill up his suddenly empty life. Scroogey was no help. I confess this sounded romantic. Legend says that the original 9 Templars secretly excavated beneath their base in the ruins of Solomon Temple, and they found jewels from King Solomon's fabulous mines, his ivory and gold throne, and a collection of relics from other times. The Ark of the Covenant, the Holy Grail, and the Philosopher's Stone. Well, they lost track of that last item. The Templar treasury also contains their own loot from military conquests and the revenues from their 870 castles, 28,000 farms, and 200 years of banking. Yes, sounds like something you would go after for, Scroogey. Well, why not? Papa learned that the Clan McDuck was named hereditary treasurers to ensure the preservation of the treasure. Oh, so? That explains why the crown of the Templar kings was wrapped in a McDuck tartan. Some Templar treasure am I. I don't even know where the treasure is. Maybe the reason Papa never told you about it is because he figured you would be as poor as a treasurer as you are a son. Meanwhile, in the castle's rear cellarport. Ding! Yes, the Philosopher's Stone is perfect for opening doors. Solid gold locks are too soft to stop intruders. Shh, listen. Aunt Matilda, did your papa ever find the treasury? I don't know. He was afraid we would tell Scrooge, so he never told us more. Don't you have any clues? The sooner Uncle Scrooge finds this treasure, the sooner he'll leave, if that is what you want. Yes, that's what I want. But all I know is that we noticed Papa sometimes spent time at another grave besides Mama's. Something he had caught his eye, and he started his SC Templar's research. I'll show you which stone it was in the morning. So we can begin our treasure hunt tomorrow, Uncle Scrooge. How does that sound? Wonderful. Comes the dawn. Uncle Scrooge, we should just go and leave Aunt Matilda in peace. What you jammering about? There's no vast treasure in the red trap of the castle. We searched every square inch of it looking for Sir Quackley's jewel box. I say we pack up and head home to Duckburg. This was my home before Duckburg, nephew. Even if Matilda says I never spent any time here. If this castle holds another secret, I must know why my father never told me. Here comes Aunt Matilda. Let's get this over with. I have important matters to attend to in the porting shed. Can you tell us which tombstone Grandpa McDuck found so interesting? That one. Sir Simon McDuck, 1437 to 1509. He would have been Templar treasurer in 1492 when the crown was sent with Columbus. So this tartan I found buried with the crown in Haiti is his. Here you are, Sir Simon, to keep you warm. Uncle Scrooge, take a look at these symbols carved above the name. Bingo, Maurice, they found it. Oui, monsieur. Bingo. A skull and crossbones? What could that mean? That your ancestors are pirates, just like you? How do you like a pop in a snot, nephew? After being spanked by your sister, I laugh at the pony snoop pop. I found the answer in the Junior Woodstock guidebook. The skulls and crossbones is the Templar symbol for death. They used it on the tombstones of heroes. I thought it was a pirate symbol. It was used by pirates as a warning to Templar warships that defend the sea lines. The pirate flags were saying death to Templars. Sounds the thing you find in that little book. But so what? We already knew McDuck was the Templar treasure. Wait, the skull's eye socket seems rather deep. Eureka! That eye goes through the back of the stone and peers directly at that window slit on the castle wall. That must be what Papa noticed too. Boys, go find out what room that is and wave us out of the window to make sure. Right, Uncle Laird of the Manor? Golly, Uncle Scrooge gets involved in interesting treasure hunts. This might be the best one yet. I think that's safe to say, Maurice. Shouldn't there be a door here opening to the room with that window? Yeah, but there's nothing but a blank wall. Ahoy, Uncle Scrooge. There's no access up the room between us. It's sealed up. Apparently centuries ago. Aha! The treasury is stashed in that room. I doubt it's that simple. Boys, get a rope ladder from the jeep and lower it from above the window. Forgive me, Papa. I only showed him where you started from. The rest is up to him. Soon. We are almost there, Uncle Scrooge. Less talking, more climbing. Go, go, go. It's dark in there. Then it's a good thing I brought a flashlight. It's only a narrow passage leading to the sealed doorway. There's no room for a treasury in this dinky chamber. What sort of crazy... You're supposed to be searching that room up there, nephew, not cooling off in a moat. I stepped into some sort of pitfall booby trap. Those Templars were diabolical. Get back up there and make it snappy. We can relax with those ducks collecting difficult clues for us, Maurice. Mocambe? Watch yourselves, kids. There's a dangerous booby trap on the ledge. Don't say anything. He's better off not really knowing what this really is. Come see what we found, Uncle Donald. This is where the passage to the main hall was sealed off. Notice that the layer from the mortar with strange symbols, some sort of code. We figured that if someone broke into the passage from the main hall, someone not following the temple clue on the tombstone, the mortar layer would have been destroyed, thereby also destroying whatever close to a symbol contain. Genius. Copy down the symbols carefully. I'll report this to Uncle Scrooge. Uncle Scrooge, we found a wall of hieroglyphics. We'll just be down in the choppy with just a... whoop. Booby trap. Right. Fiendish. That evening. Aha! Of course, I know this cipher. Anyone who knows the history of banking like I do should also know it. It's the Templar banking cipher. It's based on the Templar cross. See how the cross can be divided into these shapes? Pointing the shapes in different directions and adding dots gives you a shape for a letter for every letter in the Latin alphabet. Now take the Templar cipher and apply it to the hieroglyphics you copied. I have it, but naturally the words aren't in English, but Latin. Gerald Dewey, Woodchuck Guidebook, Appendix 357C, Latin Dictionary. Check. It starts with, "He who sealed the gateway below will show you his secret entrances." Even the clue is a riddle. Nothing about this is simple. But it is simple. A gateway to nothing below this castle would be the dungeons. Sir Swamphole sealed the dungeons way back in 1220. But he's been gone for almost 700 years. How can we show you anything? We already found the dungeon's entrances during our last adventure here. One is at Sir Swamphole's grave in the cemetery. And the other is right here, behind this armor, see? I don't relish going back to those clammy dungeons. I can see by the light in your greedy eyes that you're close to that treasure, Scroogey. Well, I won't stay here and watch you find the secret Papa was keeping from you. I'll be staying at the inn in the village. Leave word there when you depart. Aunt Matilda. Please stay, Aunt Matilda. Let her go, nephew. It's better this way. She never understood my way of life, and now, maybe we are both too old to learn. Well, we are going after the treasure now, Uncle Scrooge, in the middle of the night? Why not? It's always dark in dungeons, and maybe now some of the rats will be sleeping. But there's at least one rat who still is awake. What's the idea? Who are you? Relax, madam. We are here to help. I understand that you do not wish your brother to find that which he seeks. We can arrange that. You are pretty good at eavesdropping, aren't you? Monsieur Molay, look. Just as he said, Sir Swampo's grave opens like a door to a secret passage, but I don't think we should. Just shut up, and I'll tell you. And do what I tell you, Maurice. Pay him no mind, Miss Matilda. Let us talk on the way to the dungeons. Meanwhile, already in that long ago sealed up potion of the Scrooge McDuck, I bet the reason these dungeons were sealed was to conceal the construction of the treasury vault. Maybe so. There are dozens of cells here. Where do we start? Read more of the clue. You shall calculate the cell to be opened by the sum of the most sacred date tainted by the sum of the most foul. So we need to know when a prisoner was incinerated and when he was released after 1,000 years? That's impossible. No, I don't think it has anything to do with any prisoners. What's the sacred date to a Templar? The most sacred day of the calendar was the feast of St. John, June 24th. And what would a Templar consider a bad day? A girl who wouldn't iron his chainmail? This is serious, nephew. Not letting your sister walk out of us was serious. The blackest day for the Templars was the day King Philip exiled them from France, October the 13th, Friday the 13th. Now calculate the sum of the sacred date minus the sum of the foul date, the 24th day of the 6th month minus the 13th day of the 10th month. Okay, but this looks like a normal cell. No, not with a rack. The Clan McDuck never tortured anyone. This cell is a fake. It was probably used on the laird of the castle to get him pay his grocery bill. Nephew, I'm sure I wouldn't like what you're thinking. Quick, what's the next clue? All men's fates are linked. Know this and rejoice. Very philosophical. The fate of the men in this room wouldn't be very good. What else could they have in common? The links of these chains. Hey look, this chain is not bolted to the wall like the others. It runs through a hole. What if we link it to a chain on a rack? Good. Now turn the rack's crank. Great howlings, crash wagons. It's pulling back the floor slab, revealing a secret tunnel. You're going deeper into a Templar trap? Remember that fiendishly clever pitfall at the window? No, we are going deeper. Follow me. Check out those symbols on the floor. Let's be careful down here. You be careful first. Look out, that symbol's moving. But not much yet. We'd better walk on the narrow ledge along the wall. Lovely. We reached another dead end. Looks like a closed portal. That's a Templar seal above it. The Templar's cross with the Solomon stars and the crescent moon. Did we miss something? Clue boy, talk to us. You may freely enter the temple, but you must do so in a traditional ancient manner. Your turn, Louis. Does your down book say how a Templar entered his clubhouse? Gosh, there's nothing about that in there. Wait a minute, the clue said use an ancient manner, ancient even to a Templar. Check the traditions of the original Temple of Solomon, built 2000 years before the Templars. You're right. High priests entering the Temple of Solomon stopped and prayed on the entrance staircase. On the 3rd, 8th, and 15th steps. Okay, we'll start over at the beginning. Your 4 stay on the ledge. I'll step on the 3rd, 8th, and 15th symbol. Good thinking, Uncle Scrooge. The portal is opening. Ha! Let's go. Patience, Uncle Scrooge. Watch out for the final symbol. Whoa, another yet fail-safe device to catch over-eager looters. Yes, let's be even more careful. Sure, but you be even more careful first. The clue said we are entering the temple. That could mean the treasure vault. Meanwhile, back in the cell 7. Ah, your brother is doing well. Come, let us follow. No. What's that? You'll hurt me. The Knights Templar were formed to protect people, not exploit them. I suspect you plan foul play to gain control of the treasury. That's what I figured, but I played along to see what he was up to. I feared he would go wrong when he stole the crown from this museum in Haiti. By the way, you finish cover of that, because it's a 2-parter story. Why was that in the middle of that? Papa may have wanted Scroogey to not have wanted Scroogey to have this treasure, but he certainly wouldn't have wanted it to fall into the hands of a first bearded loony who pops up. I'm going to warn Mr. McDuck. You Templars make me sick. What goodies you all are. Goodies you all are. That's why we formed the Priory. Gah, the Priory of Zion. The what of which? The Priory of Zion. A secret society within our secret society. They were ruthless and greedy, and sought to manipulate Templar power for their own gain. Your Templar ancestor was a hero. He engineered the hiding of our treasure here to keep it safe from the Priory. A 500-year delay in our master plan, hardly worth mentioning. But enough of your whining, Scrooge. Whining, Maurice. I'm leaving you here. Come, madam. I think I'll still make use of you. Not interested in leading the way, nephew? No, Why should I get all the glory? You go ahead. I have a kind heart. I want to keep it beating. Well, be still, my beating heart. This looks like the end of our quest. Get a load of this place. What an enormous cavern. Is it natural, or was it carved out of solid rock centuries ago? The Templars could have done it. They were masters of excavation and construction. A core structure with 8 pillars. That's how the guidebook describes the original Temple of Solomon. But who were these gay blades holding up the place? The founding members of the Knights Templar, see? The names are carved into the bases. This nymph figure away from the pillar must be the creator of the order, Hughes the Pines. What is old Hughes looking up at? Shine a flashlight up there. Ugh. Relax, it's just another carving. It looks like a frog, not a very noble symbol to watch over the Templar treasury. Here it is. That is Shamir. According to legend, God commanded Solomon to use no tools to build his temple, so he used the magic Shamir worm to split stones into building blocks. Ugh, a worm, geeky. There is no other exit from this chamber, and the walls and floor are seamless rock. If this is the treasure chamber, it's been looted. But why would my papa want to keep an empty treasure vault a secret from me? There still is a final clue. Read it. The vault will open by command of the Templar guards. The last shall be the first, and the first shall be the last. And the head that wears the crown will reveal their rank. That's it. From now on, we're clueless. Not quite. Look at the sword arms have pivot poles. Once we raise the arms and salute in correct order, the vault will open. That'll be easy. Look up the rank of the first 9 Templars in your guidebook. Righto. How much treasure can we carry? How big are your pockets? Come on, stop stalling. It's not here. What? Horrors! Not even the Junior Woodchuck's guidebook knows the correct rank of the order of the original Templars? Something that's not in the guidebook? Impossible. I never thought it would happen in our lifetime. I feel faint. Well, let's just start testing combinations. You can't, Uncle Scrooge. There are 9 knights. The number of possible combinations of 9 items is 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That is 300,1880. Your point is we'll have to work at full time for 20 years, and the ancient mechanisms would wear out after about the first week. Doom. Perhaps I can be of some assistance. You again, Molai of the International Money Council, the modern Knights Templar. What are you doing with my sister? You might say she's my collateral to ensure your cooperation. As a fellow banker, you should appreciate that. I am a banker, you thief. That crown you're wearing belongs to a museum in Haiti. I doubt they voluntarily lent it to you. You should rejoice that I have this crown. Did you not know that it is the key to the treasure vault? My clam seems to have lost track of that fact. Perhaps the plague got Sir Simon McDuck before he passed the secret on. Yes, your ancestor, Sir Simon, was a very sly fellow. He knew that even though the Templar treasury was successfully smuggled out of France to Scotland, it was still in danger. The Templars contained a dissident group who sought personal wealth. The Priory of Zion. Your outfit, eh? The same, I figured. So Sir Simon moved the treasury away from Templar headquarters and hid it here? Yes. Then he tried to send the key to the treasure vault to Cathay with Columbus, but it was lost in Haiti. Until now, the correct sequence of the knight's salutes was engraved in the brim of the crown. Regardez. You see 9 pairs of ciphers revealing the rank orders of the 9 knights. I see you, Weasel. Just get on with it. Certainly, the correct order is... the initials don't match, but that cannot be. He's right, these aren't the initials on the names of the statues. Wait, what exactly is the clue? That the head that wears the crown will reveal their rank. Not the crown itself, but the head that wears it. Look at Molai's bald head. Look at the marks made by the crown. The knight's initials were engraved on the brim of the crown, upside down and backwards. So the imprints made on the head that wears the crown will show the real coded letters. It is Templar code, alright? I'll translate. Now the initials match the names on the statues. Clever little tarts, aren't you? Well, get busy. Put the sequence into action. The last shall be first in reverse order. HC, Hughes Comte de Champagne. RC, Rosal de Clairvaux. AG, André de Gondomar. GB, Geoffroy de Bizot. AS, Archibald de Saint-Armand. NM, Nivard de Montalier. AM, Ander de Montabart. GS, Geoffrey de Saint-Omer. HP, we might have expected Hughes the Pagan to be the last in the sequence, since he was the first of the Knights Templar. But his sword is already up. I guess it is to be lowered. Stay back, all of you. I'll be happy to complete this sequence and open the vault. Stop! Watch out! It's Molay's henchman. No, he's with us. Molay chained him up when Maurice turned on him in. Stay back, Maurice. Chained with a gold chain? Very fancy, I must say. No, I used the philosopher's stone to change the iron into pure gold, so I could easily break the chain. Don't let Monsieur Molay find the treasure, or we are all doomed. He can't take the treasure from the castle if we are here to stop him. You're right. I'm warning you, taking even one step towards me would be very unhealthy for your sister. Rush him, Scroogey. Nobody takes Papa's treasure. But... Monsieur Madresfez, have you ever played baseball? Waterball? I don't think so. Just give me that rock and I'll wait for my chance. They are too cowardly to help you, madam. I now open the vault. Huh? What was that? Now, Uncle Donald. Ding. Your sister will pay for that, Mr. McDuck. No. What happened? Uncle Scrooge used the philosopher's stone to turn his gun into gold, and a solid gold gun is too soft to fire a bullet. You think I only brought one gun? This one will teach you not to interfere with the prairie of Ceron. Look! X marks the spot, Molay, and you're on it. Smash. Uncle Donald, where are you? Are you alright? The floor dropped out from under me. Yes, the final lever released the Charmier worm. It split the solid rock just like in the legends. Look. The treasury of the Knights Templar. It was the second cavern below the first. Oh, sorry. Let me... Okay. Even if we'd known this vault was down here, blasting it through would surely have collapsed both caverns. Just look at this stuff. Statuary and royal treasuries from all over Europe. 2 centuries worth of annual tributes given by medieval monarchs. Relicts from the Holy Land, the treasures unearthed from below Solomon's temple, King Solomon's ivory throne. And the best jewels from his mines, even better than the gems we found there. And the actual money treasury of the Templar castle banks from across Europe. Thousands of rotting sacks of medieval coins, gold coins, each one a treasure itself. Huh? Bonk. Go back and find some manacles for these creep kids. And I don't mean golden ones. When we're done here, I'll take him to the constable in the village. Right. Now what, Monsieur McDuck? Well, the clan McDuck is custodian of this treasure, a treasure the Knights Templar wanted to be used to protect travelers and peace-loving people. I think the world needs that now more than ever. This treasury can do a great deal of good. Only if you administer it, Maurice. It will take many years to disperse it all to wealthy agencies, perhaps decades. I hope so. In the meantime, can I play in it now and then? As you wish, Monsieur McDuck. You are the Templar treasurer by birthright. You are not keeping it all, Scrooge? Dang it. It would have put me into a high tax bracket. A moment ago I thought I saw a glimmer of the old Scrooge, the Scrooge I knew as a child. But maybe you weren't trying to protect your little sister. Maybe you just tripped. Yeah, I guess so. Wake up! I know there's a different Scrooge somewhere in that thick skull. I remember him. I remember seeing how proud he was to earn his first dime, even though it was a worthless foreign coin. And I remember lots more. After you left home, I remember the letters you sent us, even though Papa never could write back, since you were always on the move. I remember how thrilled you sound when we related to your adventures, and how pleased at earning a mere silver dollar on your Uncle Angus riverboat. You wrote that the adventure made it was more far ways than the face value. I remember how inspired you were by the advice given you by that American rancher, especially since he gave words to your own philosophies. Wealth is more than a pile of cash. It's the glory of hard work and the beat of the hardy life in your veins. It's the glory of adventure that counts. I remember your letter about how you could have easily become rich by stealing a giant opal that belonged to the Australian Aborigines, but you wanted to make your fortune square. That was a Scrooge Mama and Papa would be proud of. I don't know that. I'd never gotten a letter from home. I was alone, me against the world, and the world was winning. No excuses. After Mama and Papa were gone, Hortensia and I went with you on your travels. We saw how heartless and greedy you've become. Tricking natives out of diamond mines with beads, and burning villages for profit. When you finally came to Duckburg, you showed us without a doubt that there was nothing remaining in your heart of the Scrooge we loved, and that's when we left. You had your last chance to call us back, but you were too wrapped up in your greed. No, that wasn't the reason. Bah, then what was? Because I was too ashamed. What? It was too long a journey. My body was tougher than my ideals. I did lose sight of my goals. I was too stubborn to admit it. Mama and Papa were already gone, and when you left there was no joy remaining. I no longer even swam in my money bin. I had forgotten the glory of achievement, so my money was only profit to me. Until it's changed? How? Why? How? Why? Him! Them! One Christmas I finally got too lonely that I called Hortensia's son, Donald, who by then was caring for his 3 nephews. He had a family. He was so much richer than me. I could see the McDuck in them. I saw their thirst for adventure and knowledge and fun, qualities I once had. They reminded me of me when I was true to my ideals. Then they rekindled something in me. Oh so? Then why does everyone still think McDuck is synonymous with greed? I let people think what they choose to think, like my nephew, our nephew Donald. If he knew that, for me, my bin is filled with memories rather than with my money, he would have even less respect for me than he does. That's unfair to him, and to me. It's deprived me of my big brother for all these years. Matilda, I'm sorry I was wrong. Forgive me. But I can't apologize to Papa. He will never know. You're wrong. I've misjudged both you and Papa. I know why he never told you about the Templar treasury. What are you talking about? This. It was the little box that distracted Molay when it fell from the statue. It is a letter to you, from Papa. Son, if you ever see this note, I expect you will one day. It means that you are on the trail of that which our clan has been guardian of since the 15th century. I stumbled upon the first clue by accident, during one of my many visits to your mama's grave. It led me to a secret room and a wall covered with hieroglyphics. I filled my lonely days with researching as the years passed, and one by one I solved the riddles of the cryptic clues. Finally, I made my way to this cavern, but the final clue to open the treasure vault seems to be missing. Someday you will know why I never wrote you about this possible treasure right on McDuck property. I know that adventure and victories on the world's frontiers is in your life's blood. You thrive on the need to win your fortune with your brain, daring and sweat. Your mama and I have always been very proud of how hard you've worked to support us and to help us keep our ancestral home. That the treasury might lie below our feet, and one even greater than the fortune you seek, is not important to me. Your perseverance and wits will someday lead you here, so I leave this note in a spot where you'll surely find it, in certain hope that you will then know that we were as proud of you, of our son as a Schunschein boy, as we could ever be of anything more he might accomplish. That we were as proud of our son as a Schunschein boy as we would ever be of anything more he might accomplish. I feel as rich as you will ever be. Love, Papa. The prior of Sion's grandmaster has some crimes done to in Haiti, France and here. May I have the honor to take him in to the gendarmerie in the village? Sure, Maurice. Here's his gun, take him away. Uncle Donald, do you realize what you've done? Saved the day again, eh? Maybe, but you also broke the Holy Grail. Our Uncle Donald, just the sort of thing he would do. Sorry, little glue will fix this up good as new. Do you think we can invite Aunt Matilda to come visit Duckburg and stay at our house? Sure, if Uncle doesn't get turned into a pillar of salt or something. Say, do any of you kids have a roll of duct tape on you? Oh, Scroogey, I know now why Papa didn't want you to know about the treasure. He understood you in a way I'll never have until now. Well, I didn't try hard. It's okay, but does it bother you that you know the last of the clan McDuck? You might have always been this rich? Gosh, no, Matilda. I wouldn't have missed living my life for all the money in the world. Yes, I see. You know, I never told Donald or anybody about this, but I kinda knew I was always wealthy and will always be, as long as I can live the life I choose, as long as I can do what I love to do now and then, and as long as once in a while I get a letter from home. And with that, we conclude this part. And I wish you a good day.